there's a lot of talk, right, on X and podcasts, everything about how, and look, I love Lovable and Cursor and Replit, all these tools, right? I love them. And I think they're amazing. And I think they're lowering the barrier to entry to build software. And we're in a crazy time today. So things are changing 100%. Let me just say that first. But let me also say the notion, and this is coming from someone that has built SaaS tools to compete with really big companies. The notion that you can just like, hey, I can build DocuSign in 48 hours and I can get to 10, 20 million AR. This is easy. I can buy code this, whatever. It's a lot harder than it looks to get to scale and like millions of, like, let's say 5 or 10 million plus in ARR, right? Like, look, getting to 100K in ARR is completely different than getting to 10 million in ARR. And I just want to say that for anyone listening that, because there's people that just think it's just really easy to do to get to scale. And obviously
Yeah.
everyone has their own definition of success, right? Some people 10K a month is that's all I need. I'm mind is blown. And some people they want to get to this next level. It's, as someone who's tried and still trying, it's very hard because it doesn't take, it's not just, it's easier to do now because it's not just the software, but there's things that come, there's other parts of the business.
Yeah.
Acquiring customers profitably, building a brand. There's all these other things that you need to do to be successful. And so I don't want to make it seem like it's just easy to do, but it's a lot easier to build. And if you have a skill set around acquiring customers, or you have a drive to go learn, like that's my whole life, right? I'm learning from reading books, from watching YouTube videos, from listening to podcasts, didn't have a mentor, didn't have a rich dad or anything. So I'm just learning on the fly on my own. And if you have the drive to do that, you very well can be successful. And the barriers to entry are a lot lower now.
Yeah.
But also, let's not get it twisted and think that building a $10 million AR business is just easy and I can build this no code tool and boom, and I'm up and running because, there's a lot of talk around SaaS is dead and, everyone's displacing. And yeah, like SaaS is probably on a downturn, compared to where it was in 2021. But at the same time, you know, people choose Salesforce, for example, not just because, well, in part because they're the market leader and sales team just know them. Okay, great. But, you know, are you SOC 2 compliant? Are you, for DocuSign, like there's all these things that go into the business that people should be aware of when they're just trying to start and compete against a big competitor. It's a lot easier said than done, but it's possible. But it's a lot easier said than done to get to a massive scale.
Yeah, I just want people to know that they don't need to build massive scale.
100%. Exactly right. They don't.
Like you just don't.
Yeah. The barrier to entry is a lot lower. And to build a business where you're making 10 grand a month, which is life changing for 99% of people in the world, like that should be your short term goal. And then obviously, yeah, try to scale from there. But like barrier to entry is a lot lower than it was, 100%.
Yeah. Last question for me. What tools do you use to copy others? Like if you're cloning another website or another SaaS, another business, are there any like cool tools or tricks that you like to use to do that?
There's not a lot of tools or tricks that we use.
Or frameworks. Kind of like your framework of you went to G2, you saw that everyone hates how complex it is. Stuff like that. Like how do you look at cloning other businesses?
Yeah, I think you have to know your angle. Like I don't think price can be your differentiator because eventually, like I said, there's going to be some software that's free that's making money on ancillary services. So I don't think price can be a differentiator. I think you have to have that one angle, right? Whether it's ease of use or something else, but also everything's being copied. So just you come up with, oh, I'm going to offer X, Y, Z, and I'm going to do this that other people aren't doing. Well, now all the other people see that. If people want that, they're just going to do that. So features can't even really be a differentiator. So I think at the end of the day, this is why it goes back to building the brand, because what I see, most people, they have companies in their mind that are shortlisted when they're going to buy. And so if you're going to buy XYZ software, payroll, whatever it is, you already have QuickBooks and one or maybe one other in your brain, in your mind. And so building a brand is such a key part of how you differentiate. On the copying side, yeah, like look, anything can be copied now, but the harder part is acquiring the customers profitably. Do I have a skill set or a way I can acquire customers profitably? And can I eventually get it to a point where I build a mini brand so I'm in customers' minds? And so I think those are the two areas that you should focus on. Like, look, if you're building a QuickBooks competitor, you can go on QuickBooks site and you can go on G2 and there's frameworks and things you can do. But at the end of the day, if you can't acquire customers profitably, none of that matters. And if at the end of the day you can't build a mini brand and be in some people's minds, none of that matters. So I think those are the more important areas someone should focus on when they're copying, is not just because you can go on every competitor's website, you can run it through ChatGPT or some AI to analyze everything and figure things out. But figuring out what your differentiator is going to be, your short differentiator, whatever that may be, and then figuring out and even pre-selling before you build. Like for example, if you can cold emails, you can cold email people right now for before your QuickBooks competitor is built. You can start cold email campaigns right now and see if you get some yeses. If you get some yeses, then go build it. Figure out how to acquire customers first before you go build the thing. A lot of people are like, I'm going to build this, I'm going to do this. And it's so exciting and they get so much hype and they build it and they're like, what do I do now? Acquire customers? How do I do that? And like, no, just start the customer acquisition. Run Facebook ads test right now before you even have it. Throw up a landing page, do whatever. See if you can get people through a funnel right now before you even have the thing. And then go build it once you have proven out you can acquire customers profitably.
Amen. You're preaching to the choir. We don't have to wonder anymore.
Chris is like, I know this. This is easy,
no,
easy
this
money.
Is great. Like, no, it's like we don't have to wonder if people want our thing before we build it. Like, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Sell it before you have it.
Sell it before you have it.
You might not know this, but this is not my full channel. If you want to watch the full episode of the segment that you just saw, go ahead and check this out or the link in the description.